Hi everyone, I'm Julie and welcome to My Cancer Life. Today is a rainy, cloudy day in Chicago, and it's a perfect day for some batch cooking. And what I wanted to show you is something that I make before I have chemo, and I keep it in my fridge so I have a go-to when I don't feel up to making anything, and it really agrees with my system and sets me right. And that's what I make. So today we're going to make lentils. I'll show you how I make them flavorful and what I eat them with according to how I feel. Sometimes I add some cooked vegetables, maybe a little bit of feta, just what I feel like doing and how it makes my body feel. Beans can be a little tricky, and especially with chemo, it often causes gastrointestinal issues. And sometimes I do get that my chemo does cause that, but I eat small portions and I don't overdo it. So I have found that this really makes me feel well, and so I'm sticking with it. And over time, if you are going through treatment or have gone through treatment or are helping someone who's going through treatment, it changes, it fluctuates. Sometimes certain types of food taste great and that's our go-to, but then all of a sudden our tastes change and they don't agree with us. But this lentil with just mixed with whatever else you feel like is really a game stopper for me. And I'll share that with you today. You are watching My Cancer Life, and I am Julie, and this is where I share everything that I cook, what I read, how I organize and decorate my home, how I heal and take care of my body, especially during chemo weeks, all while living with cancer to the best of my ability. And I am glad you're here. Thanks for stopping. For this easy peasy prep, I start with 1 cup of green lentils. There are many different colors of lentils available. I like the brown or green ones because they hold their shape well and don't get mushy. Plus, they're easy to find and very inexpensive at my local grocer. Along with the lentils, I add a couple of cloves of smashed garlic so I can get the garlic flavor without the garlic chunks and end up taking it out after the lentils are cooked. Sometimes I add a sprig of rosemary and thyme if I have them, and bring the water up to a boil. Once the water is boiling, I turn it down to a simmer and leave it there for about 20 to 30 minutes until the lentils are not crunchy but firm. Drain in a strainer and let cool. And at this time, I usually take out the garlic cloves, and then I transfer the lentils into a container that I keep in the fridge. My go-to lunch starts with some olive oil and a half a cup of lentils in a fry pan. You can add any veggies, but today I had some leftover tomato and cut those up and added them to my pan along with a handful of spinach. I give it a good stir until the spinach is wilted and the tomatoes are breaking down a bit. I could leave it like this, but today I'm going to add an egg and cook it over easy. Depending on how I feel, I use a variety of vegetables. Some days I add red pepper or leftover roasted Brussels sprouts or even some roasted sweet potatoes. Once my egg is how I like it, I'm ready to plate it up. Once on the plate, I like to add some salt and pepper, sprinkle on some feta, Squeeze on some lemon. Drizzle on some balsamic, and my delicious lunch is complete. That's it, my friends. That one dish is easy to make. It's one of my favorites, easy to digest, and it's just a fantastic meal for me during the day. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for stopping in. Until next time.